channel. I'm Ari and today I'm actually here with Baloo because today's video is all about how to train your Newfie. First off, I'm not a professional dog trainer. I mean, not even close. Baloo was not trained for dog shows or competitions or anything like that. We just trained him for a regular life to be a really good companion. He did go to puppy school. He does have his CGC, which is a Canine Good Citizen certificate, So basically, kind of like says he's a good dog. Like all dogs, Newfies do need a lot of training, you need hard work, you need to be committed, and a lot of patience. But mainly with Newfies and giant breeds, you need to focus on 4 things: how much they weigh, how strong they are, their fur, and their size. So that's mostly what I want to share. I know there's a lot of things that go into training a dog, especially puppies and things like that, so we're not going to get into that. A few things, most things you do have to work on since they're puppies, but mainly just focus on the difference of having a Newfie and how to train a giant breed. Right? You that? Oh yeah. So because Newfies grow up pretty quickly, I mean they do not last as puppies and small at all. I mean they grow up, by the time they're 6 months old, they're already close to 100 pounds. So you do have to work on these things when they're young. Especially leash pulling. Leash pulling can be a real issue on owners when you have a giant breed because it can get really hard to control very quickly. Leash pulling is a thing that they teach you, like one of the main things you focus on when you're training a puppy, especially a puppy this size. So a few tricks they told us was either the treat trick, which is basically holding your dog or Newfie on a short leash with a treat next to your leg. This will incentivize him to walk close to your leg and at your pace. If this doesn't work, try to always keep your dog on a shorter leash. What's that? On a shorter leash. If you give him a long leash, that kind of gives him that liberty to really pull and run off. So at least while you're training, have him on a shorter leash, get him used to being on that shorter leash and that he can't actually pull. If that doesn't work, which is an issue that we were having because Baloo is an extremely friendly and social dog and he gets really excited really easily when he sees either kids or other dogs or even the deer we have in our neighborhood. So something we do is, because he knows his 3 commands really well, which are wait, stay, and no. Those are his stay commands. Since he knows these commands really well, what I do is, this is on me. I have to be alert to see if there's another dog on the street, if there's kids playing, if there's any deer walking by. So it kind of falls on me to be alert, and if there is something that might catch his eye, I try to reinforce him to be like no or stay or wait, we're gonna wait a little bit. If I started noticing that he's getting really excited, then I tell him to sit down and we kind of pet him and just keep him calm and reinforce that he needs to stay calm and not be overly excited. And because believe me, if Baloo could, he would join the deer and just run crazy and play with all the dogs in the streets and everything. So he's extremely friendly. Unfortunately, when they're puppies, it's so easy to control them that you don't really pay attention to this, but believe me, with a very strong breed, you need to pay attention to this when they're young. Next, jumping. Jumping was a real issue for us because Baloo was the very first dog we ever had, and we had a lab and a golden retriever, which are more jumpers, but Baloo was honestly the first dog we've ever had that jumped on people. So whenever we had guests in the house, whenever we were out on the street, he would jump on people for joy. I mean, he was being sweet. That was his way of greeting. Our issue was that when they're puppies, they're so cute that you see them jumping and you're like, oh my god, they're so cute, and you want to carry them and you want to do everything. And no, so unfortunately he grew up really fast and he still tried to jump. So it's a big difference when you have a 30-pound puppy trying to jump on your leg to having a 150-pound dog jumping on you. So this was an issue we had because we didn't really know how to deal with it since we've never had a dog that jumped on people. So our trainer gave us a few tricks. The first off would be not to reward a dog when you're walking in. So when you're walking in, you either lift your hands and ignore the dog and walk past them. So when they're calmed down, then you pet them, but not reward that excitement and that jumping behavior. So that's one thing you can do. I find it really hard because Baloo is my psychic and my buddy. So whenever I come in, I have to greet him. But I do try to maybe not pet him. So I'll walk in with my purse or whatever, groceries, whatever I'm carrying, and I will greet him. I will say hi Baloo, and just be nice to him, but I won't pet him until I put all my stuff down. So that kind of gets him used to, okay, so she'll come to me in a little bit, I don't have to jump. Of course, if we're coming back from a trip or something like that, then we let him and we get super excited and we give him hugs and things like that. If that doesn't work for you, what worked for us is that Baloo, of course, wanted attention. He wanted the hugs, he wanted to be pet. So what we started doing is instead of petting him when he jumped off, we started asking him to show his belly. So whenever somebody came home and he was very excited, we would tell him like belly. So he would roll over on his belly and wait for pets. And that actually worked. So, I mean, it's kind of like a bossy move, like, okay, you're in my house, rub my belly. Yeah, you do that. But it works, you know, it actually works because instead of jumping, he's like on his belly and that's it. So you give him a quick rub and that kind of like calms him down a little bit. So that's a tip. And every dog is different, so everything will vary. Some things work for some dogs, others don't. So anyway, you have to get to know your dog. Another thing you need to get them used to very young is grooming. As you can see, they have a lot of fur and they need a lot of grooming, a lot of brushing, baths, long baths because it takes longer to bathe this dog, and especially get used to a hair dryer. So one of the things you can do here is when they're puppies and they don't have all their shots, you know, you don't want to take them to a big groomer and just have the risk of anything. You can bathe them at home, you know, when they're small, take advantage of it because you won't be able to do that for very long. So when they're young, you can bathe them at home, get them used to either your hair dryer or a small dog dryer or whatever they're called, but do get them used to it. Get them used to brushing them because this is something they're gonna have to go through their whole lives, and it's much easier for them to get used to that process when they're puppies. So what we did, that's what we were doing. We would bathe him at home and everything. And once he had all his shots, he was about 4 months, I think. We started taking him to a groomer that we knew very well already. He had groomed other dogs, and go from there. And he actually now he does not suffer. He does not throw a fit when we take him to a groomer or anything like that. He actually walks in, super chill, and loves it. I know some dogs have a hard time and they're more nervous. So it's really important. I think with any dog, if you are gonna get him, sorry, if you are gonna get him groomed, this is something good that you get. It is good to get them used to it when they're still young, so that they don't go through a traumatizing event or get nervous or things like that. So definitely go from when they're young. So car. This is gonna be a short one because we actually don't have a solution for this, and we haven't had it for any of our newfies. Newfies are not very athletic, so if you have an SUV or a truck, they will not jump on it, or at least not that we've seen. And he can jump, he can really jump, but I think because he's not very athletic, they will not jump onto the trunk like a lab or maybe like a collie or any of those athletic dogs. So I don't have a solution for you. I would just say get them used to the car when they're young as well. Just work out, maybe lift some weights. Anyway, sorry, that's a short one. Around kids, yes. So Newfies are amazing dogs for kids. They really are. They have the nickname nanny dog for a reason. They love kids. We have never worried about our Newfie being around kids for them, and worried about them being aggressive or maybe attacking a kid. They will never do that. Of course, always teach your kids to be gentle with animals, but Newfies are really good natured. The issue is, if you want to have a Newfie around your kids, you are going to have to expose them to children and get them used to it because they're very big. They are very big, but they don't know how big they are. So they want to play with children and they may not control their strength. So you either get a Newfie when they're little and teach them to be around kids, or expose them to as many kids as possible so that they know how to behave. Definitely a good tip. Another tip when it comes to behavior is never isolate your Newfie. This in general goes towards if you want a well-behaved dog, especially if he's like a medium size to a large or giant size breed, because isolating a dog will just make them not know how to behave around people. So Newfies are amazing family dogs, and they want to be around family. They want to be around people. They do not like to be by themselves. So you want to integrate them to your family. You want them to be a part of it. Even if you get frustrated that he's so big, he's such a big puppy and he's misbehaving and he's in the way, be patient with them and let them be around the house. You know, this will really let them be a part of your life, a part of the routine. Talk to them like if they were humans. I do when I'm home alone, you know, kind of talk to him. And it really, like, he really follows my lead, and he's, you know, he's never, yes, I do sometimes step on him when I try to get to the bathroom in the middle of the night, things like that. But in general, if you isolate a dog, they will never learn how to behave inside the house. So this is what happens when you have a dog in the yard or locked up a lot. By the time he comes into the house, he's super excited and he's trying to take it all in, and he's not being bad, he's just like not used to it. So just make sure they are part of the family. Again, like I've said in a previous video, these are not dogs that are meant to be out in the yard all day. You know, they are house dogs, and even though they're big dogs, they can be a delicate breed. There's another video if you want to watch it. I'll add it in the end as a suggested. You can click it. It's Living with a Newfie. That's a lot of more detail on what it's like to having a Newfie. Crate training. Okay, so crate training for us was not an issue because we didn't crate train. I know a lot of people do. The issue was that because Newfies are very big, if you want to have a crate for the rest of their lives, you are going to have to invest in a big crate. And we just didn't want to have such a big crate lying around in the house. Also, because I work from home mostly, I was with him all the time. So I did want him to get used to living in the home and not having to worry about, oh, he got out of his crate, or I need to put him in the crate, or something like that. Also, that he was a single dog. We do not have another pet or kids or anything like that, so he can't get, I know a lot of people have crates because when you have more than one pet, they can either play or fight or knock something over while playing or fighting, so that is an issue. Again, as a puppy, I was mostly home, and what we had to do, instead of doing crate, we decided to, for example, we would keep him, if we were going out for a little bit, keep him in a bathroom, like a guest bathroom, same with the pads and everything like that. And that worked. Once he started growing a little bit more and behaving a little bit better, we were moving into the kitchen. So our kitchen, we can actually close it off from both sides. So that's what we did a couple times. Or sections around the house that we could block him off. But we decided not to go for a crate. So he's free to roam the home. He's really well behaved now. He was a pretty bad puppy. He chewed, I'm trying to find the remote. He chewed through probably like 5 remotes. Every time we called DirecTV, we were like, can we get, I need to order a new remote. They would look up the account and be like, but we just sent one like 2 weeks ago. This is the last one he chewed, and we decided not to get a new one, but it is missing the back, and it has like teeth marks all over, but we decided just to keep it. He grew out of it, of course, after he chewed my shoes. But I mean, that's puppies for you. A little side note, if you want a puppy, make sure you're ready and you're patient. Puppies will chew, will pee, will poop, maybe throw up, you know, and you're gonna fall off the bed, right? They are like babies, so you're gonna have to be patient. Potty training. Okay, potty training, this is, yeah, he's like on my hand anyway. This is a tip that is not only good for Newfies, in general, this is good for all puppies. I'm mentioning it because they're such a big breed that sometimes adding a doggy door is not an option. So growing up in Mexico City, you have amazing weather and the houses are pretty much open. You can always have a door open to the backyard, and that's super easy for puppies to understand, okay, I need to go to the bathroom, I'll just go outside, you know? They don't feel pressured of having to open the door or let you know or anything like that. So a tip, if you're planning on getting a puppy and you have time to plan it around, well, and if you live in a weather, kind of like we do in Texas where you have to keep the houses closed, plan getting your puppy when the weather is nicer. So Baloo, we got him in the fall, which really allowed us to keep the back door open to the yard. So whenever I noticed he was like kind of sniffing around or going around, we'd take him outside, and he learned that to go potty outside. Quick tip, puppies do need to go to the bathroom every 30 minutes to an hour, and always after a nap. So just be aware of that, and if you see them kind of like sniffing around, that usually means they want to go. So we would take him out, just run him out, and as soon as they learn that they like the grass better for going to the bathroom, it's super easy. And then after that, he started tapping on the door and letting us know when he had to go. We really, again, did not use pads or the diaper pads that much, just because they are big dogs, which mean they go to the bathroom in a larger size, so you don't want to always have, anyway, too much. We did not want him to get used to going inside the house, so we did reinforce that about potty training, and yeah, thankfully it's good. it works. The last thing, not to do with their size or anything like that, is their nature and their personality. Newfies are extremely sensitive dogs. Like I say, they like to be around people. They do not like to be by themselves. So a stricter training may not work for them. In general, I believe that a pet or an animal should never, ever be trained or treated with violence, being aggressive, hitting, nothing like that. I know this video comes a little bit soon after a fellow YouTuber went on, and it was a heartbreaking video, and I really think that if that's your way of training animals, then don't have them. Please just know. I hope I'm not offending anybody, but honestly, they are sweet, sweet creatures, and they do not deserve that. Going back to their personality, they are super gentle, so you will have to be patient with them. They're very smart, very trainable dogs. Just be patient, but they are sweet. They do not respond well to aggressive training. And aggressive training, I'm just saying that for lack of a better word. I don't mean aggressive training in terms of hitting or anything, but you don't want to traumatize them because they're so sweet. They may become very skittish, very scared, and you don't want that from a dog. You know, you want them to be confident, you want them to be happy. But yeah, less an issue. And yeah, I think those were my tips. Again, if you have a Newfie, if you have a giant breed dog and you have more training tips or issues you've had with your dog, maybe I missed it or something, let me know below. If you like my channel, if you like Baloo and you want to see more of us on a daily basis, you can follow us on Instagram. There's always a lot going on him, especially on my story. And I hope to see you guys again here soon. Bye!